The body has needs, the mind has preferences. You are neither. This is not a belief, it is an observation. What the body is. The body is a biological organism. It needs food, sleep, movement, protection, reproduction. These needs arise automatically. They are no different from a stomach secreting acid, a heart pumping blood. The body does not ask who you are, it functions. When hunger appears, it is the body. When fatigue appears, it is the body. You do not produce these needs, you only notice them. What the mind is. The mind is a psychological mechanism. It prefers comfort over discomfort, certainty over uncertainty, praise over criticism, pleasure over pain, continuity over change. Preferences are not truth, they are conditioning. They come from memory, comparison, fear, habit. A preference arises, stays briefly, and dissolves. Another replaces it. You do not choose preferences, they appear. Where the mistake happens. The mistake is subtle but fatal. The moment hunger arises, you say, I am hungry. The moment a thought arises, you say, I want, I don't like this, I need this to change. This language creates ownership. Now, bodily need becomes my lack. Mental preference becomes my desire. A false center is born. That center is called me. Why you are neither? You are aware of hunger, fatigue, fear, desire, preference, resistance. Anything you are aware of cannot be you. You do not observe your eyes, you observe through them. You do not observe awareness, it is already present. The body and mind are objects in awareness. You are not an object. What happens when this is seen? When the body needs food, food is eaten. No psychological drama. When the mind prefers praise, praise may or may not come. No inner collapse. Needs are met when possible. Preferences are noted and allowed to pass. Craving dissolves because there is no owner, no identity to protect or complete. What this does not mean? This does not mean neglect the body, suppress desire, fight thought, act indifferent. Those are ego performance. The body is cared for, the mind functions, but you are not trapped inside them. The final clarity. Suffering begins when needs and preferences are mistaken for identity. Freedom is not gained, it is revealed. When this mistake is seen clearly, the body demands, the mind prefers, you remain. How craving is born. The body has needs, food, rest, safety, sex. The mind has preferences, comfort, control, meaning, continuity. On their own, these are neutral mechanisms, like hunger in an animal, like alertness in a machine. There is no suffering here. The fatal turn. The fatal turn happens with one word, I. The moment the language becomes I need, I want, I am hurt, I am lonely, I am not enough, a center is created. This center is imaginary but powerful. Now hunger is no longer hunger, it is my deprivation. Now fear is no longer fear, it is my insecurity. Now loneliness is no longer absence, it is my deficiency. This is identity. From sensation to craving. Before identity, sensation arises. Sensation passes. After identity, sensation is interpreted. Interpretation becomes meaning. Meaning becomes urgency. Craving is urgency. Urgency says, something must change for me to be okay. That me is the problem. Why the mind must crave? The mind is a continuity machine. It cannot rest in the present because the present has no identity. So it projects past into memory, future into hope and fear. The mind experiences itself as incomplete because it is time bound. So it seeks completion through pleasure, momentary relief, validation, confirmation of existence, admiration, inflation of identity, love, merging to escape isolation, achievement, symbolic permanence, identity, a story to hold on to, not to be free but to continue itself. Craving is the mind's survival instinct. Why suffering is unavoidable once you identify? Once you identify with body and mind, you inherit their destiny. and their destiny is decay. The body's contract. The body will age without permission, weaken regardless of effort, get sick unpredictably, die without negotiation. If the body is you, then you are always under threat. Every wrinkle becomes an insult. Every illness becomes fear. Every comparison becomes humiliation. The mind's instability. The mind is not steady. It will compare you with others, replay past wounds, imagine future disasters, swing between hope and despair. If the mind is you, then you are never at rest. Peace becomes impossible because the mind moves by nature. How suffering forms. Suffering is not pain, suffering is personalization. Loss hurts because you are losing. Insult burns because you are diminished. Failure devastates because you are threatened. Death terrifies because you believe you end. If there were no false you, these events would still occur, but they would not wound psychologically. Why life is not the enemy? Life is neutral. Life gives pleasure and takes it away. Life creates and dissolves forms. Suffering arises not from life's movement, but from claiming as temporary form as self. That claim is identity, and identity is false. The quiet but radical implication. Nothing needs to be removed. Craving does not need to be destroyed. Suffering does not need to be fought. They collapse on their own. When the owner is seen to be imaginary, not through effort, not through discipline, through clear seeing. One final sentence to sit with. The body and mind demand. You suffer only when you obey them as yourself. So, the body will continue to need, the mind will continue to prefer. That is their nature. Suffering begins only when these movements are claimed as me. You are not required to change the body. You are not required to discipline the mind. You only need to see clearly. They function, you remain. When needs are no longer identity and preferences are no longer personal, craving loses urgency and suffering has nowhere to land. Nothing mystical happens, nothing dramatic ends, only a simple mistake is undone. And in that undoing, freedom is already present.